Hi guys, this is Lindsay and welcome back to another video. And can you believe it? It's already September. It's so weird. But we're gonna get straight into the video. Here are my supplies. I tried to keep it super minimal but with a twist, and here's the twist. Gouache. Can you really believe it? I'm not much of a painter. If you're someone who does a lot of art, you definitely know the difference between a controlled and a not controlled like medium. And for me, I personally like more of a controlled medium instead of, like, let's say watercolor, where you really have to use your imagination. For me, I'm already kind of like not the smartest light bulb in the pack, so definitely controlled mediums are my way to go. For my theme, it's so weird. I don't really have like a way to call it, but describe it, and I feel like this is the case for all my themes. This month I decided to do like a cafe brick organic look. I don't know if that even makes sense, but definitely I think the focal point was the bricks, and I just wanted something that was very neutral with a lot of browns and cool tones. But also, to me, at least September where I live, that's when everybody, goes back to full force. Vacation is done. Either you're starting, a new job, going back to school, or just getting your life back on track. That's what I think of September is. And usually for me, I can't start anything without a cup of coffee. And yes, coffee is literally my, that one pleasure in life that I tend to overly indulge in. Yes, that's me. I drink way too much coffee for my own sake. But who else is in that club? Let me know in the comments down below. So the reason why I picked gouache to use out of almost anything that I possibly own is because gouache is actually the most, I guess, versatile type of medium that I could think of. And the reason why I say that is because gouache, you can actually water it down to where it's almost like watercolor, or you can actually just use it as it is and it literally looks like acrylic paint. I liked using it just because it actually dried super fast compared to watercolor, and it did not even make the page crinkle or anything like that. When you pick certain colors and you kind of already have an idea that black ink is just not gonna work? Well, that's where I kind of ran into, and the only real brown pen I had was the Writer Tech pen, and it was such a beautiful color to where if you compared it to my brown Micron Picron pens, they looks like almost black. I don't know, it just wasn't what I was feeling, but that Writer Tech pen was it was so fabulous. And to give it more of an organic feel, I did do these hand-drawn washi tape. It looks so cute and awesome because it actually helped play into that cafe brick organic look. And plus, if you guys don't really have a whole ton of washi tape on hand, you definitely can just easily make your own. And besides using different types of mediums this time, I definitely switched up my game and did a more simplistic, maybe minimalistic type of monthly overview. And the reason why is because, one, I got bored, which happens a lot. And second is, I actually thought it played on par with the theme, but actually this theme was inspired by Layla Journals. And I recently discovered her YouTube channel. She's a very fabulous person. You guys should check her out. But she does very like neutral and simplistic themes. And I kind of got that idea of how can I make it into this neutral theme that I just had stuck in my head for days and days and days, because trust me, my boyfriend was not happy hearing me talk about what kind of theme I wanted to do that, you know, consists of neutrals and browns, and that's all I wanted. If it didn't have neutrals, I did not want to do it. And so it took me forever, and that's kind of how I came upon this theme. But I actually did enjoy it, and I loved how different everything looks, because it actually helps me create like a focus for, you know, the reason why I'm changing things. And one of them is to utilize my calendar more. And one of those reasons is having more space to do like tasks for the month or important dates. Recently I decided to do something in my life that now everyone keeps making the joke that I've become an adult. And it's funny because I mean I am an adult, but I recently got my first car, and now I have to pay car payments and car insurance, and it's a little overwhelming, but hopefully with this layout it would actually help kind of keep things on track for me. Don't worry guys, I'll spare you from all the brick drawing, but pretty much this is gonna be my playlist for the month. And once again, like always, I forgot to print out all the cover artists for my favorites, and I don't know, I kind of forgot. I thought my printer was broken, but apparently now it's fixed and I didn't even know. So I'll just insert a picture here to kind of show you what it does look like with everything, and it actually kind of gives more of like the vibe I was going for, because once you just see it how it is, it looks kind of plain, very not colorful, but that's because I was kind of banking on the colors from the actual like cover albums to pull that through. Here is what I meant by gouache being used almost like watercolor. If you dilute it so much, it actually becomes almost like watercolor. The only thing is you have to be careful. It is a paint that reactivates with water, so if you're continuously layering wet paint on top of it, there's a good chance it'll look very muddy. I've noticed that I usually don't have too many habits, and I don't know, I feel like it's better to have core ones than have just a whole bunch of habits that you just randomly track, just because I'm so busy that I don't have a lot of things that I could track if I wanted to, like one of them being the gym. I would love to be able to track that, but unfortunately I work way too much and I don't know the meaning of a healthy work balance life. Okay, I know, Lindsay, really? Another Dutch tour? Well, yes, unfortunately. So basically, I knew I wanted to do another Dutch tour and didn't know how to kind of incorporate it. And since this is based around my love for coffee, I didn't want it to be overly too cheesy with like a whole bunch of coffee beans just everywhere. So I've used it sparingly as little accents throughout the theme, and I definitely love how it came through when it came to the Dutch door. And it actually gives a cute little cutaway for my mood tracker. And my mood tracker is so weird, so please bear with me. I was kind of thinking of like a menu board when you go to those very upscale modern cafes. That's where my brain was going. So I kind of did a menu board with a whole bunch of different types of like espresso drinks. And basically, as you go down the list, you actually will fill in each layer to the drink. I don't know if that makes sense. It does make sense for me, but if my mood tracker just does not seem to work with you, you could definitely change it to whatever you feel like it. What's your guys' favorite drink? If anything, for me, I usually like iced caramel macchiatos or a hot vanilla latte or even a matcha latte. But for those who like Americanos hot or iced, power to you, because I don't know how you guys can drink them. I feel like they're just so potent. You definitely have to love coffee. Finally, the weekly spread. If you guys made it this far, you are awesome, because I definitely know that with doing gouache painting, it does take quite a bit of time, so thank you if you made it this far. So when it came to figuring out what to do for my weekly spread, I honestly, and I'm truly honest, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I wanted to do it a little bit more like drawing heavy or keep it like super simple, super minimal. But ultimately what I decided to go with is something that focused more on functionality than just, I guess, the aesthetic. So I definitely wanted to utilize the space for planning out my days, even if that includes just working at like my real job or doing projects or just keeping myself on track with tasks. I still wanted to give myself enough room to pretty much do anything. And then I also did get a small section for a shopping list. And the reason why is because I've noticed that, at least for my apartment, I have to go grocery shopping at least every 2 weeks, maybe every 3 weeks. So it's nice to know exactly what we need constantly, so I know how to pre-plan a little bit better in my personal life when it comes to making sure that I have food in my kitchen and not scrambling for ramen for dinner. Question for you guys. So are you looking forward to the end of the year, kind of like the holidays, the big festivities, or are you that person that dreads the cold weather and could care less about the holidays? Because I feel like I'm in the boat for both viewpoints. Like, I can't wait for the holidays to come around just because I love like the holiday spirit, but I honestly hate it because working retail, at least in the past, it was like a nightmare every single day and you're constantly tired. And it doesn't help that where I live it snows and it gets really cold easily, and I hate the cold, but I love it because I love layering clothes. I don't know, for me, a good like couple sweaters and a throw over jacket is like chef kiss to my, existence. I definitely definitely had to throw in a matcha latte somewhere in this bread. And a shout out to you guys out there that prefer, matcha over coffee. I know there's some of you who can't really do coffee just because of the process that's done to it, and it's not good for like your health, or the caffeine, probably just too sensitive to it. I know tea and matcha is a great alternative, and so I wanted to give my ode to you guys in this little latte. If you guys are really curious about how I think about using gouache and the type of brand that I used and where I got it and how I compare it to other types of medians, let me know in the comments down below, and maybe I might make a video on all those questions being answered, because I've never actually used gouache before and I got it as a Christmas present. And tell me why today is the actual first day I ever used it, which is insane. But if you're curious, just let me know down below. And here's a final flip through. Surprisingly, this theme turned out better than I thought, because it's not really a theme, but somehow it worked. And I just loved how it made me step out of my comfort zone and experiment a little bit more than I usually do. And hopefully you guys end up doing that too. And if you do end up recreating this theme, make sure to tag me on Instagram at Buju Wonder, and I would love to see those recreations. But if anything, till next time. Bye!